and welcome here to Talk FCB, and welcome back here to the channel, guys, for another video. And today we are going to be going through some Barcelona news in terms of transfers, also in terms of some general rumours that have been going around in the Spanish media over the last week or so, basically relating to either Barcelona players or potential Barcelona players. So in this video we're basically going to be looking at that news, looking at the rumours, and just trying to work out what's true, what's not, what's the likelihood of all this happening, and most importantly, a lot of these rumours, firmly putting them to bed and setting the record straight. So we're going to kick straight off with something that I've been asked about quite a few times over the past few days, and that relates to Ousmane Dembele. And he has certainly been the topic of conversation in Spain for quite a few days now, different things circulating. Some media say that he's happy, some say that he's not, other papers say that he wants to leave, others say that he's happy to stay. And I have had a lot of people saying to me, is Dembele okay? Does he want to leave? Is that going to end up happening? And the answer to that, simply, very simply, is no. Dembele is not going to leave. Dembele is not going anywhere at all. It's far, far too early to even be thinking about Dembele wanting to leave or even anything like that. Because remember, this is a player in Dembele who virtually went on strike in the summer to force through his move to Barcelona. He wanted to come here desperately. He went on strike. He disobeyed Borussia Dortmund. He was desperate to become a Barcelona player. And right now for him, there's nothing more that he wants to prove himself here. And I'm absolutely convinced that given the time, given the space, he can prove himself at Barcelona. And there was a news outlet in Spain which basically reported that he's likely to leave on loan at the end of the season in the summer transfer window. And once again, guys, this is absolutely fake news. No substance whatsoever to this particular story. A loan move for me with Dembele makes absolutely no sense. What exactly would it achieve? Going somewhere else to show that he has some quality? Well, we've already seen that. We saw that at Dortmund. We bought him based on that evidence, and we even saw his potential when he was playing for Rennes in France. So it's not like we don't know that he has quality. We know that he has that. We just want to see that in a Barcelona shirt. And the only way that he's going to do that isn't by going out on loan somewhere else. He's only going to do that by being in Barcelona, living in the city, embracing the culture, and most importantly, being out on that pitch as a Barcelona player, learning the Barcelona way, integrating himself into the team. And once again, with regard to Dembele, I'm absolutely convinced that given the time, given the way that he can really settle in now, once he gets the minutes on the pitch, and consistent minutes as well, he can settle here and become a great player. No doubt about that at all. And one other thing about Dembele as well, it is rumoured that the club apparently are trying to do something very similar to what they did with Neymar when he first arrived at the club, and it's something I think that we've all wanted to see happen and we all believe should happen. They're basically going to try and work on Dembele as an individual. They're going to try and get him to build some muscle mass, and in doing that, just bulk up a bit more, but at the same time, without reducing that agility, that speed, that pace that he does have. They don't want to lose any of that, but they do want him to just bulk up a bit. They're going to look at his diet, they're going to look at his workouts. Obviously some time in the gym is certainly needed, but the club are definitely looking at that, and I think that's a good thing. We need to see that with Dembele. The league, he just needs to bulk up a little bit, and that'll help him, I think, a lot in his development and certainly as a Barcelona player. And on that very subject, I actually read this morning in Sport that Dembele in an interview actually admitted that he'd hired an osteopath and also a cook, basically to give him the best possible results in terms of his nutrition and making sure that his body is in the best possible condition that a footballer can be. He said that I'm a footballer right now at the top level. I've got to make sure that I'm taking care of myself in the best possible way. So it's good to see everybody, Barcelona, the medical team, Dembele himself, all making those strides to get the best possible results on the pitch. And that brings us on to our second rumour that we are going to discuss, and that is basically between Philippe Coutinho and Kylian Mbappe, and an apparent swap deal that could take place in the summer transfer window, which for me, looking at this rumour once again, looks extremely unlikely, if not even impossible. Because as we've said about Dembele, the way that he went on strike in the summer to force through a move to Barcelona, Philippe Coutinho has been doing exactly the same thing for even longer. He is absolutely desperate to play at this club. It's his dream to play here. He's waited his entire career for that, and of course, he's still got to wait until next season to even play in the Champions League. So of course, he wants to realise that dream, and for that reason, I don't see him leaving Barcelona, not now, not any time in the future. He's very happy here, he's settling in, he's got a brilliant goal against Girona, and this for me is not going to happen. The source, El Pais, basically claimed that PSG wanted to get rid of Mbappe because Neymar apparently is jealous of him, but again, I really don't see PSG being in any rush at all to force Mbappe out the door. He's massively talented, we've seen that this season, he's got huge potential, and we know full well that PSG like to hold on to their biggest assets, and certainly for me, Kylian Mbappe is one of those. So for me, this rumour is another non-story. And just while we're on the subject of PSG and Neymar in particular, I've seen a lot of people obviously saying about Neymar's injury. One thing is absolutely certain, he will miss the game against Real Madrid, and he could miss also an extended period of time beyond that. The injury is quite serious. And a lot of people saying, are you happy about Neymar's injury? I just want to set it straight, I am not happy about this. I will never be in the position where I'm saying, fantastic, Neymar's injured. Because although he left, and nobody when he left was more angry than me, I'm really disappointed still that he chose to move on in his career, that he chose to go to PSG. But now he's there, he can do what he likes. It's not that I don't care, it's not that I'm happy about the injury, but Neymar for me is not somebody that I absolutely hate, nothing like that. He's just got to get on with his career. He's not a Barcelona player anymore, he's not our priority, and I don't think anybody should be, happy about the injury. We're just going to let him get on with what he's doing. He's made his career choices, and now he's got to go and stick with them, and best of luck to him in the future. But right now, of course, all the focus on ourselves. And yet another rumour, moving on now to Toby Alderweireld, and that was a really, really interesting one that came out according to The Independent, who are a reasonably reliable source here in the UK. They say that Barcelona have been closely following the Belgian, whose contract actually expires at Tottenham in 2020. The Independent say that basically, if Tottenham fail to agree a new contract with the centre-back, then they could be forced to actually sell Alderweireld next summer, not this summer, in the summer of 2019, in a cut price deal which could be worth around 30 million euros. Now, for me, when Toby Alderweireld is fit, he is one of the best centre-backs in the world. Since he's gone to Tottenham, he started out at Atletico Madrid, he hardly played there. He went on loan to Southampton, he really impressed there in the Premier League, and then, of course, on his loan finish there, Tottenham bought him permanently from Atletico Madrid. And since he's gone to Tottenham, alongside Jan Vertonghen, his countryman at centre-back, he's been absolutely fantastic. I do think the Premier League probably suits him a bit more than La Liga did, but for me the issue with this one, even though he's got fantastic quality, once again, you're looking at age. He turns 29 years of age tomorrow, and especially since this wouldn't be one that we would be signing him right now. We're looking at possibly the summer of 2019, maybe even on a free transfer in 2020. Then he'd be 30, 31 years old, and I just think right now, the board, the club, they need to be looking at the long term a little bit more. We can't always seem to be making sign-ins with the immediate future in mind. You've got to look long term sometimes. So even though Alderweireld for me is a fantastic defender, huge quality, he might be getting on a bit, especially when you consider when we'd be making that move. And finally guys, as we're building up of course to our game tonight against Las Palmas in La Liga, really is a must-win game. Obviously yesterday you all would have seen it, Antoine Griezmann leading Atletico Madrid to yet another victory. They're now within 4 points of us, so really important that we win and get that 7-point gap again. Griezmann though, a hat-trick against Sevilla on Sunday, 4 goals last night against Leganes, a fantastic free kick, 2 with his left foot and 1 with his head. Really was a phenomenal night on show against Leganes for him. But based on tonight's game, it's really important right now that we rest Suarez, and I say that because the referee for tonight's game is Mateo Lahoz, and we all know you cannot take any risks when he is in charge of the game. In terms of La Liga this season, he actually averages one of the highest booking rates of any referee in the league. He gives out over 5 yellow cards per game in La Liga, and we cannot risk Suarez. He's 1 yellow away from missing Atletico, and for me, you can't do it with Lahoz, because you know that if Suarez is on that pitch, Lahoz will find a way to book him. In the past against Espanyol, I remember it, he was giving out cards like they were going out of fashion, and you cannot give him that chance, because he will find a way to book Luis Suarez, and we don't want that. We don't want to take any risks tonight. Play Alcácer instead of him, play somebody else, but most importantly, don't risk Suarez in this game. So that is basically what we are dealing with right now with the latest news with Barcelona. I just wanted to mention those rumours, guys, because a lot of times, you guys ask me, and I want to make sure that I do answer as many things as I possibly can, and sometimes I won't make a whole video on them, but it's good in a video like this just to address some things so we can work out what's true, what's not, what's likely, what's not, because in the media, there's so many different things that go around, so many unreliable things a lot of the time, so it's good to just set the record straight. So thank you, as always, guys, for joining me for this news roundup. Please leave all your thoughts and your comments down below. I'm very interested to hear what you think about some of these rumours. Do you think they're true? Do you think they're not? Would you like to see any of them happen? And do you agree with tonight? Do we need to rest Suarez, especially with Lahoz in charge? So I'll see you later on for the game, guys. But until then, as always, Vasca El Barça!